Welcome to the Crimson Tide Connection, your home for Crimson Tide sports, and I'm joined by the head coach of the Alabama softball team, Patrick Murphy. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Christopher.
You're welcome, Murph. Coach, you're off to a 22-0 start, the fourth time in school history you've started the season with 20 or more wins. What has been working so far for you?
I just think there's been a lot of people that have taken advantage of opportunities, and when they get an opportunity to play, we as coaches, hope that maybe they'll get a couple hits or make some great defensive plays or pitch well. And one of those kids that have done that is Danny Richard, who's a sophomore, and Courtney Conley has been ill for the past couple of weeks, and Danny steps in and she's the MVP of the tournament. She hit 800 on the weekend. She hit like 667 for the week, and to have a backup do that, that means a lot to a team, and especially a coaching staff, that you can trust the backup to do what she did, and she definitely earned more playing time.
Murph, as you've done all season, you swept the Easton Classic. Can you kind of talk about that and maybe the matchup against a couple of those teams, and how do you feel like your team did against them?
Well, first I got to say thanks to all the people that came out. There was a picture in the paper yesterday, and it looked like it was the photo in Alaska where they had blankets and scarves and everything that you can imagine on them, and it was in the grandstand of our stadium. So the fans were terrific. It was Kima Davis Day on Saturday, and really glad to honor her. And she had a bunch of people from Miami in. It was the first time they'd ever seen snow, so maybe that's a positive. Yeah. But we were Iowa State and St. John's. We got to play both of them twice, and I think a lot of people got opportunities. We pitched, all three pitchers got 2 starts. We played 6 games last week, so that was a goal of the coaching staff. So every pitcher got 2 starts. I thought Lauren Sewell did a really good job again. Leslie Jury pitched really well. And then Jackie threw a shutout on the last game, and it was extremely cold. And she's definitely not used to that, being a Florida girl herself. And I think, when it gets warmer, all 3 will start throwing even better.
Well, Murph, on Wednesday you take on the Florida Gators. You host them here at Rhodes Stadium. Can you kind of talk about them, and what do you expect to see from the Gators?
Well, Tim Walton called me probably last year about this time, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing on March 6th?" And I thought he meant last year, which was about a month, away. And he goes, "No, I mean next year." And the way the SEC schedule this year went was you don't play 4 of the 13 teams. And they were one of the teams that we weren't going to play this year. So he suggested a non-conference game, and they're playing at Auburn on the weekend. Okay. And, the more I thought about it, the more it was a no-brainer. And, he said it'd be a weird college softball season if Alabama and Florida didn't play. So we were very happy that they decided to do that. To me, it's one of the best rivalries in college softball. It has been for the past, 8 or 9 years. And I know they're coming in with only 1 loss. So it's probably going to be the top non-conference game, definitely in the month of March.
It's probably not too many times you play another SEC team, especially a team that's kind of like that you have a great rivalry with, like Florida, and it doesn't count for the standings.
I know, and next year Auburn and us are going to do the same thing, because we don't play Auburn next year, which is even kind of strange, more strange. But Alabama baseball plays Auburn tomorrow in Montgomery, and they do that every year, and it's a non-conference game. I'm just glad that we can play Florida.
Should be a great game, and then also this weekend, though, you do start the SEC season as you travel to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. Always some great games between you and Tennessee. What do you expect to see from that matchup?
Yeah, Karen and Ralph Weekly do a great job with their team, and they're my pick to win it all this year. They have the most people back. They have their entire pitching staff back. They're loaded offensively. They've got speed. They got power. Their middle infield is probably one of the best in the country. They have 3 infielders that were preseason all-first team, all-SEC. So their lineup is extremely difficult to pitch to. They're playing at home. I think all the games are sold out. It'll be, quite a loud, intimidating atmosphere.
And you said Tennessee is your pick to win it this year, so it should be some motivation for your girls out there, shouldn't
That's right. Well, you can't vote for yourself, but I would have voted for them either way, I think, because I just think they have the most people back, and they were a young team last year. They made it to the World Series, and they have so many starters back. It was kind of scary looking at their roster.
That'll be a big series. Now, that matchup on Wednesday night against Florida, you can watch that on Tide TV at RoyalTide.com if you're a Tide TV subscriber. And if after the weekend, we'll have a full recap of the Tennessee series on RoyalTide.com. Murph, congratulations on the season so far, and good luck this weekend in Knoxville.
Thanks a lot.
For head coach Patrick Murphy, I'm Christopher England, and that's it for this edition of the Crimson Tide Connection.